Good luck. Thank you. It's always appreciated. Hello, Lloyd. What's up? How are you? I've been throwing. I just haven't been streaming. I'm not giving up on this thing, man. So I figured out I need to learn to throw plates in order to make it. Which is fine because plates were on my to-do list anyway. So the plan for today is to test out plate shapes for our dishes that I plan on making, and then to practice throwing the saucer for the UFO bird feeder. I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty okay. It's starting to get hot here, so that's always fun. And the weather's been crazy. So much rain, which we've needed. How have you been? Well, I hope. Trisha Garcia says hi. Yeah, I think the weather's been crazy everywhere. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to throw today. We've had such bad... Oh, no! That was a bad start. Gouge it. It thinks these are keepers. Yeah, because we've had such bad thunderstorms. I wasn't sure if I'd want to throw. I'm basically outdoors. 6 years, man. It's a long time for a laptop these days. Electronics in general. It's amazing how quickly stuff dies these days. What kind of laptop did you get? So I'm trying to compress this bottom as much as possible. That's what everybody says is one of the tricks with plates, is to compress the bottom a lot. How much is a lot? Huh? That's exciting! You feel good about it? That's awesome. I can't wait to hear about like all the interesting conversations you get to have with people. That's super cool. So what equipment do you need now? Like once you get your license, what else is needed or what is needed in order to start talking to people? And we're talking about, for those who are watching, Boyd is getting his ham license, ham radio. You'll need a ham radio gear, or like receiver and transmitter and antenna. Is that stuff expensive? That is cool. Making the antenna yourself, that is so cool. Is there much cost associated after you get the equipment? Like, Do you have like high electric bills or anything like that? I think I got this compressed enough. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, apologies. Are there any other costs? Like, once you get the equipment, do you have to like maintain I don't know. Like, is there a monthly fee that you have to pay for your license? Or does your electric go up? You know, your daily costs for living, anything like that? Or once you get your license and your equipment, it's, you know, nothing really additional. Ah, okay. That's cool. This clay is super soft. It's probably too soft for plates, but that's okay. That's cool. Lifetime license. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Slippery hands, man. New hobby is sugar rockets, so rockets that run on sugar. Or rockets made out of sugar. I'm basically gonna compress this room and call it, because otherwise we'll just get in dangerous territory. Danger! Danger of flopping. Sugar serves as rocket fuel. Stump remover? And what started this? Oh, we're gonna have a flop. We're gonna have a flop. It's gonna flop. I got like a weird twisty twist. Not the best plate. I'm not keeping any of these anyway, I don't think. Probably not. Told you should cut away, you should cut towards yourself. That doesn't seem right to me. Maybe you should cut away. But I'm gonna cut towards myself. First plate. It's alright. Kind of floppy. It's not really what I was going for. You got an ad from Mom. Algorithm has you pegged. They're like, this guy, rockets. Rockets in space. Kind of funny, that was not the shape at all I was going for. I was going for like a dish shape. I was going for this shape, and I ended up at this shape. So, kind of weak sauce start. Meh, no. This is just practice. This is me thinking. I would like to get these at least, like, I'll trim them for practice trimming because plates are not fun at any point so far. So far, maybe I'll like them later, but 20 minutes, I'm getting faster. That's a good thing. I'm sorry if the fan is loud. It's mosquito season, and the fan keeps the skeeters away. You know, I have not been on a lot of devices lately, but I did see something somewhere where it looked like a Blue Origin's rocket. Did it crash? Did it not make it? You said no one was injured, so that's good. It exploded while preparing for launch. What were they, Blue Origins is, Bezos, right? Is he doing tourism, or what? So the rocket itself exploded, not the part where they had people? Well, it's a good thing they didn't have people in it. I guess. Do they know what went wrong with it? I suppose if they did, they may not tell. Who knows? Abdel says hello. Abdel, I'm making plates today. I'm trying to figure out plates. And yeah, like, I mean, it's kind of why I like pottery in one way, Pillow Void, is that, yeah, that was not the shape that I was going for, but something still came out, you know? Like, once you get, like, learning has, like, plateaus, right? You know, when you're on a learning journey, sometimes it goes like this, sometimes it goes like this and stuff. I think the first learning journey on pottery wheel is learning to center. And then the next one, I would say, is making shapes. Just taking the clay and following the shape the clay wants to be. And then the next one is actually making the shape that you want to make. Because that's a whole other skill level, or at least taking everything up a notch. And sometimes I take the easy way out and just go the shape that the clay is going. So, but hopefully this one will go better. But I have to say, I'm not a fan of this compressing. It's really boring. And it's hard to communicate to on the screen what's happening. Like, this is getting lower. This base is getting compressed. It's just, it's not exciting. Of course, I've watched the Terminator movies. Well, I don't know how many there are. I did not watch the most recent one, which I should have. But I think up to 4. I think Christian Bale was the last one I saw. Which, I want to watch the one with Linda Hamilton in it because she's awesome. I wanted to be her when I was a little girl. But yeah, I'm familiar. Skynet. Do you have a favorite Terminator movie? Mine is 2. Terminator 2. I'll take that compliment. Sarah Connor was like, I mean, badass women were not, when I was growing up, they were badass women, but like, not as common as there are now. So basically you had, Ridley, right? Sigourney Weaver in Alien. She was a badass. And then, of course, Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor. Demi Moore did G.I. Jane. And, of course, Lucy Lawless, but that was a little bit later, I believe. Are we going in the direction of Terminator, man, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Well, I appreciate that, man. I won't lie, I did look. I just recently cut my hair, and that was one of the ones I looked at. I have to say, this is pretty fantastic. This is short hair for me. But, like right now, I don't have any kind of ponytail holder in anything, and my hair is not in my face. It's fantastic. Appreciate it. Granny, what up? Yeah. Sebastia? Oh yeah, Terminator was way before G.I. Jane. I'm just trying to think of like badasses, female badasses in movies, I guess 80s and 90s. Because Kill Bill was 2000s, right? Uma Thurman. That was, I don't know. Decades are a blur. Adele. No, because like what I'm doing is I'm making a plate, right? So one of the things you have to do is make sure that the base is compressed. So rather than digging into the clay and pulling out like I normally would, I am pressing the clay down, 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 trying to make it thinner this way, and really compressing those clay particles so they're really, really, really tight and strong. And then after that, I'll pull the wall up to make a little bit of a wall. So it's boring. It's not fun to watch, I'm not gonna lie. But this is for me. All of it's for me. Yeah, hot season, I'm not looking forward to it. Where you're at, what season is it? Are you guys getting into the rainy season? You sell pottery? I do not sell pottery. I sell games. That's what I sell. This is just my hobby. Cyclones, those are the equivalent of tornadoes, right? Yeah, because monsoons are like hurricanes. Well, Floyd, we've talked about this, haven't we? My husband and I, we make games. We make games for the GBA, the Game Boy Advance, and then we also make like little wooden puzzle games, like brain teasers and stuff. The company is called Pocket Pulp. And we've got a YouTube channel, and then if you ever go to itch.io, that's where we have a lot of our games. As well as like physical games, Etsy, because we do, for the Game Boy Advance games, we do cartridges and everything. So we do physical release and digital. It is nice to play with clay. It's art therapy for me. And because like, I don't fire a lot of my stuff. I only fire stuff that I have a plan for. Because I do that, that's why I record, because so much of my stuff I never fire, so I wanted a record of everything I've made without having to fire it and be surrounded by stuff. So I record. The company, it is Pocket Pulp. So Pocket, so like a pocket in your pants, and then pulp, Pulp. So like pulp, like an orange has pulp. Am I a spiritual person? Yeah, I would say so. I have become more spiritual as I've gotten older. I used to be agnostic, and now I've had some experiences that make me believe otherwise, that there's something out there. Cool. Well, if you play any of them, oh boy, let me know. We've got a few on itch that are free. In fact, there's one on there that you'd probably like. Crook Sweeper. It's a play on Minesweeper. And then the creator. Thank you. Pocket Pool? Yeah, so the idea is with the name, I don't know if you've heard of the Analog Pocket, but that was one of the inspirations for us to make games for the GBA. We realized that there were more people moving to the retro gaming market. And then the other idea behind it is we want to make short games. Like, you know, so many games these days take like hundreds of hours to beat. And we're like, why don't we just make games that, you know, can be done in 5 to 10 hours, you know? And back in the day, they used to have something called Pulp Fiction. So they were just kind of like, you know, little novels that you could buy at the grocery store. That were like quick little fun reads. That's the kind of games that we want to make. Quick and fun, things that make you think. So thanks. It took us a while for sure to come up with something. So yeah, for these dishes, I know that we want like a deep dish. So like a dish that's almost like a bowl. This is probably my least favorite shape of the ones that I'm trying out. Because it kind of has like a 90-degree angle in the corner. And I'm worried that that's just going to be not as easy to clean out. I want something more of a that has a rounded shape so you can clean it out. Yep, that's us. Man, so one of the things that as a developer that we like about the physical games, there's no updating it. Like once it's done, it's done. The people who run the emulators, they have to update their stuff, but we don't. And that's a big selling point for us. Because, I don't know, man. These new systems these days, there's just no guarantee your game's going to be there if you're not there to work on it. And it's nice to know that as long as people are emulating the Game Boy Advance, our games will be able to play. Even if we're gone. Yeah, man, it's fun. I really enjoy it. I've always played games, video games, but I had no idea about making them until I met my husband. And I have to say it's pretty awesome. I enjoy making them. I was in sales and marketing before I met him, and now I'm in art and marketing. So working on those games kind of opened up a whole world to me. So for example, like I did the art, he did all the programming and puzzle design. I was initial playtester, and I learned to do pixel art for the games. And I've really enjoyed that. Peel off. You'll judge on your time playing? Okay. Your Tetris handheld gaming thingy, like a Game Boy, or like some other device, like just a Tetris specific? There are a lot of devices out there these days. Okay. Let to. So we should get this extra clay off. I didn't do that on the other one, should have. And if you guys go play those games, let me know what you think. So plate number 2. So you can see like there's quite a thick base on this, and that's because I'm going to put a foot on it. So a lot of this is going to be carved away. So it has a foot, which I can draw what that looks like. Whoa. Well, that's cool. Tetris Man, classic. You can't go wrong with Tetris. So that's the shape that I just threw here. After it dries, I'll come in and I'll carve away. Oops, not that. I'll carve like all of this away. So what I'll end up with is the shape that looks like. So the only part that will touch the table is like right here. If that makes sense. And that's called a foot. That's a foot. So here's an example. See? Foot. Foot ring. So I like this one better too. This was a better shape. I suppose I should go this bigger one. But because those bottoms are so thick, they take forever to dry. And that was like the hardest thing for me to learn with the plates, was how to get them off the bats. But now I get it. It just takes time. And I'm impatient, so. Oh, so when I make the flying saucer, yeah, I'll stick them together. What I'll do is, when they get to the point where they're drier and I'm carving them, I will then stick them together and glue them together so they make the flying saucer. Yeah. That's another step. I've made one UFO shaped thing. I made a planner for my sister. And that one was the first one I ever fused pieces together. But it didn't have the shape that I wanted. This one, but now that I'm learning for plates, the next one will have the right shape. But this clay is super soft. I really should have gotten different clay for plates, something a little bit stiffer, maybe something with grog. But I'll do that for the next ones. Make it hard this time, so when I do it for real, it's easier. Because if you'll notice, I'm not spending as much time coning. So this is coning. And part of the reason why is because the clay is so soft. I can get it to where it needs to be with less effort. Do I believe in aliens? Oh. Do I believe in aliens? Well, what's your definition of an alien? Do I believe that there is another intelligence other than humans? Yeah, I do. I believe there's definitely something out there. Either there's something out there or there's some humans hiding some very crazy things. But do you believe in aliens? What's the biggest takeaway I've learned from working in marketing? Oh, you want like the cynical question, like answer, or the legit answer? The cynical answer is marketing ruins everything. But, you know, to be successful in marketing, one of my things is being sincere. You know, being honest about what you're talking about is a better way to go than rather than trying to be catchy and, you know, ride the biggest fad right now. Like it's a good way to not stand out. And really marketing is about connecting with people. But yeah, marketing ruins everything. Because I got into marketing before social media. So I remember what it was like before social media and what it was like after social media. And watching it from like social media being the coolest thing ever to happen to marketing to the worst thing ever. But sincerity, you know, being honest. I would say that's the biggest thing I've learned. You know, and it's funny, you know, I work for myself now, but I have a friend, she's in marketing, and she's talking about the pressure she's getting for using AI. Like, they want her to use AI, and she's like, I don't want to use AI. But people can smell it. People can tell when something is AI, and a lot of people don't like it. It doesn't feel sincere. But I don't know. I don't think everyone has the ability to be sincere. Because what ends up happening is someone's sincere and they do something unique, and then everybody copies that person, so now that is no longer a sincere activity or, you know, thing. It's very funny. It's very strange. You got to know your audience 100%. You have to know your audience for sure, and that you speak to that audience. Don't try to speak to everybody at once, because you're not going to catch everybody. Yeah, there's a lot to it. Freaking marketing. Alright, what's the other ones I was going to do? I'm going to try a double walled one. So, let's figure that out. Yeah, 100%. Like, I think I'm not saying don't ever use AI or anything like that, but I think there's, to me, like, AI should be used as an assist, not necessarily doing the work for you. Hey, what ideas do you have for this? You know, or can you proof this? I do think it's good for proofreading. I use it to like think through ideas, proof things and stuff like that. But just copying and pasting, that's no good. That's like not a good way to go. But the world's gonna go the way the world's gonna go. Put that out. And I think also it's a good idea, like when AI first was becoming a thing, I was like, oh, this is great. I can use it for reference images for art. Because, like, I can literally spend a day or more looking at reference images, trying to find the right ones to use for my art. But then what I found out by using it for reference images, I was really just then not being aware of where my references were coming from, which isn't good either. Like, it's important for you to know the original source of those references so you're not unintentionally duplicating someone's work. And so because I used AI for references, then I was like, oh wait, this looks like this piece of work that I had never seen before, but now it looks an awful lot like it because that's what inspired the AI image. So I don't think it's necessarily a good tool to use in lieu or like in place of reference or research. Like, oh, if it gives you an answer, like, go and double check that. Like, go see where those answers came from before you just run with it. But I will say I use it on a regular for cooking. But yeah, you're right. Diluting creativity, man. Yeah, for sure. It like you can feel it after you use it for a while, like creating atrophy in your brain, like muscles that you don't. If you don't use it, you lose it. And my husband works with AI quite a lot. He works for a startup that they their whole tool is built directly on AI. So it's just, something you just gotta be careful and use mindfully. Squids for hire. The clay looks yummy. Man, you should see some of the darker clays I have. I've got one that looks like chocolate. Like, it's, whenever it's in like dry form, I'm always like, I could just take a bite of this. But it doesn't taste good. 100%, that's what I do, Pillow Void. I ask it to cite resources. It's like, all right, where did you get this information? Because sometimes it just completely hallucinates and it'll give you a fake website. But I'm curious, like, when I was in college, we had to write papers that were, like the internet came about when I was, or became commonplace when I was in high school. So there was a time that we were not allowed to use the internet to cite sources. Like, it was not considered a place that you could use references. And then it did, but just certain sites. But then when I was in college, like, one of the things that they would ask us to do would be write papers using only primary resources. So we couldn't quote anything that was quoting something else. We had to go to the original source. And I'm wondering if they still do that these days. I mean, is it even relevant? I don't know. But I will say, on a regular, I will take a picture of the ingredients I have, and I'm like, give me a recipe that works with this stuff. Like, I'm okay with my brain atrophying when it comes to cooking. As long as I just get food on the table. Are you serious? No one can. But why was that? I mean, there's always professors like that. I'm having flashbacks to a college professor right now. Wait, what's a QS paper? With one question. A one question paper. Wait. Yeah, he said a QS paper with one question. It's an open book paper that you can literally open the book and still no one passed the exam. And then I had a college professor, I literally changed majors because he was the director of the department where my major was out of, and he just scared the crap out of me. He was so intimidating. Dr. Kuzan. I took conflict, violence, peace with him, and then something else. Literally remembering a girl crying in class because of what he said to her. And he was a huge stickler on citing sources. He called me out once, and it was questionable. Like, what was it? I remember I was writing a paper on like Libya or something. I don't remember which one. And it was on their civil war, and I don't think it's Libya, but they were actually in a time of like doing well economically, which was unusual. And I said that because in our class we discussed it so much, it was in my brain that that was unusual. But it was written in a book somewhere, and because I didn't cite it, he was like, but it wasn't, I don't know, man. It was enough to make me cringe in class and be terrified of him. And I changed my major. That's the kind of guy Dr. Kuzan was. Like, he just lived for, I wouldn't describe it as cheeky. Not cheeky at all. Why do I exist? I exist to experience and to spread kindness. That's why I believe I am here. To have the human experience. I think that's why all of us are here. We are all here to have experiences. But and then I particularly find motivation in spreading kindness. Kindness and compassion. How about you, man? Why do you exist? What makes you get up in the morning? To learn to fill pots. Yes, that's one of my experiences. I like the smell of rain. I like the feel of rain. Like when it's, like right now, the air is cooler. Make this whiter. I don't know if I can. Petrichor, huh? Interesting. Well, now I learned today too. Petrichor. To thank the creator for your existence. I think that's a good one. Showing gratitude. I try to be grateful and find reasons to be grateful. Alright, so this one I'm going to try to split. Petrichor. The smell of rain. Don't flop. Ah, it flopped. Damn it. So this one is supposed to be double rimmed, so they're supposed to, like, this is going to curl over and have some air in there, so you could hold something hot without burning your hand. But I'm not sure if this clay is going to be stiff enough to do this. If it is, I'm going to have to move more quickly. 8 balls, but I only have 6. Yeah, that's right. Because I have to pay respect. Focus? Are you trying to say I'm not focused? And that's why my plate flopped? Maybe. When do you get your results from your ham license? How long do you have to wait? Why do you have a hard time finding shoes your size? I do too, actually. But I have strange shaped feet. Centimeters. So you'll have to do the conversion because I don't have my ruler in front of me. But my feet are very small. They're like 8 inches long and about 4 inches wide. So they're small and wide. Makes finding shoes very difficult. Weeks. So was this like an online test, or was it like somewhere that you had to like physically go and take in front of them? And this is the size. Feet are an interesting thing. Everyone's feet are different. But we try to shove everybody's shoes or feet into the same shaped shoes. I've actually thought about getting custom made shoes and just wear the same shoes always because they're expensive. Yeah, I tend to wear Birkenstocks and Doc Martens because they're wide and they're comfortable, and that's basically all I wear. I had a job once that required me to wear heels, a minimum of 1 inch heel, and it was awful because high heels and I do not get along. My feet just are not meant for them. I don't know if this is gonna work either. I'm thinking I need to have maybe this whole thing pressed out. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Man, she is gonna notice one day. Yeah, they're really easy to, you don't know what you're doing. They can be difficult to walk in. And honestly, they do change the shape of your feet. That's what I learned after I didn't wear those heels anymore. I used to have to wear them every day for like 7 years. And then I stopped working there. And I stopped wearing heels because I wasn't required there anymore. And then a couple years later, I'm like, oh, I need to wear heels for this event. Let me just whip out these old heels I used to wear. Nope. Foot would not go into them. And I realized how much I had distorted the shape of my foot during those years. Alright, let's try this again. That's terrible, man. Your poor sister. gonna feel so betrayed one day when she finds out. She'll find out. And I even own a new pair of shoes. I thought that I would struggle with these is it's getting the extra clay up off the bottom. Needs not yet. Not yet what? She won't find out. I hate the delay that was on these things. I never know, you guys. I know you're responding to something I said like 3 minutes ago. I have a short-term memory issue. I don't remember what I said 3 minutes ago. Alright. Slip this up. I want to get all the extra slip out of there. Wobble. Close. Thanks. It's not, it's not quite sealed yet. We'll get there. I can feel where it's not sealed. Come on. So I think I have too much clay on the outside wall, not enough on the inside. I'm hoping I can still kind of squish it into a shape. There's a weird little lumpy lump here. I can like squish it out. We'll see, we'll see. Yeah? It's not raining at the moment here, but it was raining earlier. Where's my wooden thing? Oh, there it is. Not really what I was going for. I got like something different here. Cut this one in half and see, because it did not work. I'm gonna have to think about how I make this one. Come away. So yeah, you can see where I was losing that double-sidedness. You can see how it wasn't, I was going for more like this. That's what I wanted. This wall here is too thick. And the inside is too thin. What's up, passerby? Well, no longer passerby. Now it's Higher USA, right? I have the, there's clay on it, so I can't see right now. Zoran, hello, hello, how are you? So I have 2 more throws, and these 2 I'm going to try to make the saucer. So the goal is going to be make 2 saucer shapes the same size. But I need to stand up and stretch. So give me a sec. Okay. So passerby, YouTube just something. I'm never sure. I'm never sure how any of it works. I'm not even sure how I show up on streams. I think I show up as Cobra Laserface, don't I? Or is it learning to throw pots? I don't know. I wonder why YouTube changed. So passerby, how did you get your screen name? Your handle? What do they call these days? Where did your handle come from? Your name, passerby. Oh, you just You know, it was funny when I was waiting for you to respond. I was wondering that. Because it does kind of fit you. And then I got distracted. Now this is not centered anymore. Just for the verticals. So out of curiosity, is it just pottery streams that you're into, or are you into other streams as well? Just a drifter? You're not into pottery? But oh, maybe I just think that because I only know you from pottery streams. No bueno, guys, no bueno. There's some pumpiness in this, man. Pumpiness. Good evening from France. Fresh Cup. How's he doing, man? Is he still streaming? Joel? Did you go? I saw. Didn't I see you over at Swan City? Meet one and you end up meeting a few. Yeah. There's a name for that too. When you never hear of a word, then you see it everywhere. Is it white sandstone? This is what I believe is called stoneware. I believe this is white bear. No, I'm sorry, not white bear, but Iceman is the name of the clay. But it's a stoneware. White stoneware. Kind of in the process of slowly combining all my clays. because I have like 3 different types of white clay, and my plan is just to mesh them all together because I'm tired of trying to keep them separate. Ben seems like a cool dude. I like to watch him work. Electric. But I don't fire them. I take them to a place to fire them. I'm a member of a studio. Yeah, like there's like a bit of clay on here that is not stuck. And you can press it. Otherwise it's just going to come off. This clay was not in the best shape when I started. It's recently reclaimed and I should have let it sit longer. But it's what I got right now, so I'm just going to go with it. Oh, I'm using so much of it. That rim is uneven, which is going to result in an uneven cooking plate, but whatever. It's gonna come right off. See? Lame. Lame, lame, lame. machine? There it is. So now what I'm trying to do is getting it open out more without making it flop. That's pretty close right there. Yep, I'm gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna touch it anymore. No more touching it. Okay. Right. Don't touch it anymore. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Okay. I can't, man. I can't stop myself. It's like... I'm so bad about that. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And I poke it some more. So... especially like right now, I need to not touch it. This clay is not, it's not very stiff clay. So it's prone to flopping. Alright, so I need to remember that this is I'm aiming for something that's going to be this wide. That's how wide the next one needs to be. Three. So this one will sit on top of the next one. And the next one will sit on top of this one. One of the two. Thank you. Thank you. Passerby. You're in Australia? Or is it New Zealand? I remember Ben had it wrong one day, and I know you definitely are not supposed to get Australia and New Zealand mixed up. Australia. So it's getting to be winter there for you? Is that correct? Okay, stretch. I gotta stand. I need to drink water. Does it get cold where you're at? Or is it just like windy? If it gets cold, it doesn't reach freezing. Yeah, it gets, like it doesn't freeze here. It doesn't get cold here like it gets cold where Ben's at. But we get snow. We get occasional snow. It doesn't usually stick. Definitely gets colder than I like. I'm originally from Florida, so I'm used to mild winters. What I would call a mild winter, but if you're from up north, you would call what I have now a mild winter, but I call what I have now like an actual winter. Yeah, we'll get a little bit colder. We'll get down to freezing, but it doesn't stay freezing long. I really enjoy hearing about different weather. I guess that means I'm getting older. But it always trips me out getting on a plane and then getting off the plane and the weather being completely different. We went to a conference in Milwaukee in May last year. No, it was in April. And when we left here in Georgia, it was almost in the 90s. And then when we left Milwaukee, it was snowing. I was like, this is awful. It's spring, why is it snowing? Yeah, I miss the weather in Florida. I miss the thunderstorms. I miss being close to the water. But I have to say it's really nice being somewhere where like the leaves change color. We have like legit seasons. It's neat. But I prefer to be somewhere warmer. I don't like having to have two sets of clothes, like winter clothes and summer clothes. Which I kind of just layer, so it's not really, but yeah, and we felt it for sure. I was in shock. I was in shock when it started snowing. It's like, this is terrible. I'm not a fan of the snow. I'm not a fan of the cold. Okay, okay. So if you are still there, passerby, I'm curious. So Joel got you into pottery. How did you find Joel? You were just passing by? Yeah, it's kind of funny. My husband's from upstate New York, where it gets real cold there. They have what's called lake effect snow, which all I know is he showed me a picture from when he was a kid where the snow was as tall as the barn. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm basically as north as I can go right now. And he can't handle the heat. So we're kind of like stuck at this zone right now. But the funny thing about this location is that even though I would say there's more of a winter here, it gets colder, it also gets hotter. Like, it's so hot here. It's insane. I thought I was gonna die last year. But it's something about not being near the Gulf. You know, I was off the Gulf, so we had the Gulf Stream, which always, like, even when it was hot, a nice Gulf breeze is blowing, kind of cool you off. But there's no Gulf breeze here. It's just hot air that blows on you. I remember going outside one day at night, and it felt like someone had a blow dryer on my neck, and I was like, this is just terrible. Loadout operator, I was on the phone. Oh, you're at work. Oh, I was curious. Okay, so you're not into pottery, even though I run into you all the time on pottery streams. And you said Joel got you into it. You got into it because of Fresh Cut. So how did you get into Fresh Cut? You just stumbled on his stream? I think I'm breaking some kind of like rule for streaming. I'm sure I'm not supposed to engage people in case you're not there. I don't know. You got a lot of interests that aren't your interests. So slippy, just all the slips coming off. Whatever, we're just gonna lift. We're just gonna lift and see what happens. Oh, that's nice of you. I'm always sneaky. I don't ever I rarely, unless there's not, well, I guess there's not a lot of people here now, but I don't usually tell people when I go. But I hop in and out too a lot. But this will be my last one. I've got some reclaim going over there. Hopefully it'll be done when I'm done. Yeah, it's funny. I don't even think I really watched streamers until recently, like these last couple years. I think actually probably the person that got me into it was Pottery Demon. And I don't think he strings anymore. I haven't seen him in a while. But I'm not on as much as I used to be. I enjoyed his streams. He was a nut. It is a nut. Yeah, this play on the screen is really annoying. I'm missing words. Oh wait. Yeah, I understand that. Light on you. Too much light. But at the same time, I think, like, creators like it, because, like, isn't, you know, engagement is good. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I also sometimes just have it on in the background. I just like supporting people. Especially like so I was watching Swan City and I messaged for a while, but I was cleaning my garage at the same time. So they get the views. They seem like cool people. Let's go out the chalet. Unfortunately, I've never really had a job that I can do two things at once. If I was driving, I could drive and watch it or listen to a stream. But I have a hard time even listening to music with lyrics when I'm working. Depends on what I'm doing though. If I'm doing anything that involves writing, I cannot. What kind of podcasts do you listen to? I need to go wider. Ooh, much wider. Podcasts, general interviews and things, politics, you say? Not into any podcasts. I was into, what was it? I did the UFO rabbit hole for a while, Kelly Chase. That was pretty good. I got a little deep for me, like a little wonky at one point, so I got off of it. My sister's real big in podcasts. Oh, I used to do Freakonomics. I take that back. Freakonomics. Philosophize. 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 Philosophize this. That's a good one. I enjoy that one. Philosophize? I'm gonna be like stumbling over that word now. Philosophy. Philosophize this. I think that's what it was. You get bigger. Let's go wider. Oh, that's gonna be. Yeah, I think it's a good, just being aware of it's good. Oh, you're gonna flop. You're gonna flop. I just know it. Oh, this is just terrible. He's not gonna work. He's not gonna work. Well, and he's too big, so. UFO did not happen today. One day it will. But yeah, he was getting too thin there. So, wah wah wah. Whale. I would recommend you trying to find new content. Philosophize this is really good. He basically just goes through. He starts with the history of philosophy, and I stopped at like episode like 90, which is when he actually said he started getting good. But I liked him. I liked it. It was pretty good. It was kind of neat to start from the beginning, even though he's been doing it a while. And then anything with NPR I usually enjoyed. But that is what I've got. 3 plates only. 2 hours and 19 minutes, and I only got 3 plates. Which, I don't know. I may toss all of them. We'll see. Well, y'all, I appreciate the coming passerbys and the dropper-ins and the people who stayed. I will clean up and then try again another day. So everyone have an awesome, awesome day.